Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the July 7th, 2022 regular meeting of the Town of Monroe Planning and Zoning Commission. It is 7:05 p.m. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll start with calling the roll, starting on my right.
Dominic Smirgalino, alternate.
Dominic Benicio, alternate.
Brian Condon, Commissioner.
Leanne Ambrosi, Commissioner.
Robert Westland, Commissioner.
Alternate.
Rick Schultz, Town Planner.
Sarah Stroud, Recording Secretary.
And I'm Michael O'Reilly, Chairman. We're going to have a general public participation period at this point. If anyone in-house or online has any general comments that they would like to get on the record, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear them now. Please make yourself known by raising your hand. General public participation, anyone online would like to address the commission, please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll move on to public hearings. There's an error on the printed agenda, published agenda, the RDA 2022-02, first public hearing has been closed, and that's going to move down to deliberation section D.
Well, we have one public hearing, Mr. Chairman.
We do. We have one public hearing, which we'll go to next. That is EFP 2022-01. And this is, I believe we're just opening this tonight, correct? You have the notices on?
Planning and Zoning Commission, Monroe, Connecticut, notice of public hearing to be held July 7th, 2022, in accordance with CGS 8-7D. A public hearing will be held on Thursday, July 7th, 2022 at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter via hybrid Zoom meeting with access via phone and in person at Town Council chambers. EFP 2022-01, file number 108909 Main Street, I-1, excavation filling permit application for proposed grading for future building and parking area and access to property from Route 25 along with site improvement for site development, assessors map 103, lot 014, Porco Construction, owner, Mercurio Porco, applicant. Notice was published twice in Voices on Wednesday, June 22nd and June 29th.
Thank you, Commissioner Condon. Rick, do you have?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we have one exhibit, and that's engineering comments. And Mr. Chairman, the applicant has requested that this public hearing be continued to the August 4th meeting so they can address all of the comments from the town engineer.
Okay, then we will not hear from the applicant tonight.
That's correct.
Do we have to let the public have an option to speak? No.
We're going to table this.
Yes, to the August 4th meeting. Very good. Moving on to section C, subdivision and site development plan review. We do have a site plan review. This is SDP 2020-05A1, and it is a modification to a previously approved SDP. And do you have exhibits for this, Rick?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We have exhibit number 1, engineering comments, and exhibit 2, the modified site development plans. And Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, as the commission is aware, this project was previously approved. They have now submitted modified plans by adding sidewalks along frontage road, adding pavement at entrance to facilitate truck turning movements, extending the retaining wall, and adding no right turn sign at the intersection of driveway and Old Main Street to prohibit right turns by trucks and buses onto Old Main Street from the site driveway. Essentially, Mr. Chairman, this is a modified site plan to address all of the ongoing minor changes that needed to be made and to adhere to the Department of Transportation. The applicant is going tonight to address the commission, but it is pretty straightforward.
Thank you, Rick. And who do we have for the applicant tonight?
Well, good evening. I'm Phil Barlow. I'm a landscape architect with FHI Studio, formerly 2 Design, and we prepared the site plan for the project. And there's other members of the project team with us tonight also.
Hey, well, go ahead.
Okay, let me, all right, let me see if I can share.
I will share.
What's that?
I'm going to allow you to share.
Okay.
And you are ready to go ahead.
Okay, not, not seeing it come up here. Host disabled printing screen. Okay.
Phil, right here.
Oh.
Any luck, Phil?
I'm not having any luck, unfortunately. I can describe the changes, but my site plan is not coming up.
All of the commissioners have site plans before them.
Okay. Well, I'll just describe what the changes were. The first change was the addition of the sidewalk along the frontage road. And as you know, this was requested by the town in our site plan approval. We had extensive negotiations and back and forth with DOT, as you might imagine, but did end up with the requested sidewalk along the frontage road. We did change the intersection of our site driveway. It necessitated widening the service road a bit to facilitate turns into the site. DOT asked us to eliminate the intersection with Main Street and instead intersect with the frontage road. So you'll see that change. The addition of the sidewalk necessitated an extension of the retaining wall. So the retaining wall was extended along the site. And the last adaptations were, as mentioned, no right-hand turn signs were requested or required by the state, that there be no right-hand turns by buses or trucks at the intersection of the site driveway and the frontage road or the intersection of Main Street Route 25. And I think that's the extent of the changes that were made.
And Mr. Chairman, the commission received a favorable report from the town engineer. As you know, this project was previously approved, and essentially it's addressing the restrictions of the state.
Where's the sidewalk going?
The sidewalk,
Yes. It's going right along the frontage road, the length of the property.
So it's going in between the two roads?
Around 20.
No.
No, it's going between our property line and the frontage road.
So nothing going across.
That's correct.
Road,
So
Nothing.
the old highway.
yeah.
What's frontage road?
the sidewalk,
No, he means the old
next sidewalk connects nowhere,
Main Street and then this part.
Okay.
This is the,
ice to your building? That doesn't connect anywhere to
See, Nicole,
the frontage of this. You don't have any sidewalks going
he said frontage road, he meant.
one end of that road to the other end of the road?
That's correct.
They didn't require you to do that?
They did not.
So this is only,
The state has sidewalk requirements.
What's that?
What are you asking?
The sidewalk only goes to their building. It doesn't go across the front of all of Main Street.
It doesn't go across that side road.
Yeah, the old
It
route,
doesn't cover.
old Main Street.
Usually when a property comes in, we like to ask for sidewalks on the street.
On the street.
This is just a sidewalk on their driveway. So it looks like they only built sidewalk going from their building down their driveway to the street, but nothing actually
It
for
doesn't connect
people to
anywhere
walk
else.
down the street.
Down the old.
So it's really, I wouldn't really call it a sidewalk.
No, well, no, there is a sidewalk along our property line, along the length of the frontage road. That's what DOT required.
So it's going across the whole front of the building, the whole property.
Yes.
Maybe I'm not seeing it on the
We
plan.
don't see that on the plan. I see your sidewalk. I don't see any other sidewalk.
Bill, we're gonna have, try one more thing to see if you can share your screen. We're gonna make you a co-host. Hold on.
It's hard to see it on these.
Yeah, try it again,
I'll
Phil.
try to see if you have the share feature.
Okay. Okay. All right, that looks like it may do it. Yes, okay. Beautiful. Okay, so you see, let me, again, that dark strip right along.
Okay.
It's
much better.
You see it?
That on the
Yeah.
plan, bud.
Okay, good.
Oh, here it is.
It's there.
Yeah. I hear it. There it is.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Misunderstanding. That makes much more sense.
Yep.
I saw it.
That's a sign.
It's right here.
Yeah, 'cause it's hard to-
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he has it colored there.
Yeah, it's shaded in on there and on ours it's not. There it is.
Yeah, I got it right there.
Different page, you got it shaded.
It wasn't on the plan. I see.
Yeah.
So you can show it on there.
That was an odd.
And what other modifications did they make you do here?
Do that in the past.
I think it.
The state.
So you can see at the intersection of our driveway, you see that large shaded area?
Yeah.
That's all paved now to facilitate left-hand turns into the site.
Yeah.
We had to extend this retaining wall to take up the grade as the sidewalk pushed back the grade a little bit here. So this is a new section of retaining wall. And then the signage, the no right turn signage at this intersection and then the intersection at 25.
How high is the retaining wall?
It is 5 foot, I believe.
And there's going to be fencing in front of it?
Well, we do have the guide rail further into the site, but presently, and we do have the guardrail on the upper section of the parking lot. We currently do not have a fence at the lower sections. There's no walkway adjacent to it, so that's why we didn't put a fence at this point.
All right, well, let's go through the commissioners for questions. We'll start on my right with Dominic. And do you have any questions?
Questions?
No question.
Do you have anything with what that retaining wall is gonna look like?
It's modular block, typical modular block, small block retaining wall. The blocks are 6 by 8 inches, I believe. So it's not the large block, massive retaining walls. It's a smaller, detailed one. just typical modular block retaining walls.
You don't have any details on it then, like what it's gonna look like there.
We do not have that tonight. There should be a construction detail in the set, but that doesn't really tell you a lot about what it looks like.
If staff's good with the changes, then I'm fine with them.
Same, I don't have any questions or comments.
No, as I indicated, favorable recommendation from the town engineer. The major changes were precipitated by the state. And we'll get,
See that retaining wall?
that needs to be a condition of approval. We'll get details on that.
Right, okay.
Are you concerned with the color or the height?
Sample.
Height and what it looks like.
Well, we know the height, right?
Right, what it looks like, what it's gonna use.
Yeah, staff will get a sample.
Right, all right. We wanna make sure it has some kind of.
Yeah. That's a visible retaining wall. You want to,
I'm saying, that's what Rob was saying.
All right, are there any other questions? All right. Does the applicant have any other comments? Or-
I don't think we do unless we have questions.
All right. And we'll close this hearing and move on to deliberations. And actually, we can go ahead and just deliberate on this application. We're all looking at it.
Do we have to see somebody?
well,
Bruno's not here.
Should we see
somebody or should we wait for Bruno?
no, you need to see.
Give me a
If we
second.
want to
Dominic,
do, right?
Next.
All right, who's next on the list?
Nicole is up.
Oh, you'll be seated for this deliberation. All right, so then other than the actual material that the retaining wall consists of, is there anything else we'd like to add to the approval?
The retaining wall is 5 feet high, you said?
What is it, Rick?
What is
I
that?
can look at
They
that.
said 5 feet.
Yeah, 5 feet, yes.
I just have some safety concern if someone was to get over that railing and walk down and not realize that there was a traffic block there. I don't know if shrubbery or something. to prevent anyone from.
So
I don't know if
there is a
concerned with
fence?
that, but.
I mean, it's an age-restricted home. I assume they're gonna stay on the sidewalk.
Wandering, that's my only, if someone starts wandering,
Yeah, I think the
health issues beyond their concern.
I get what you're saying.
the shrubbery is fair. 'Cause
Okay.
it'll add green to the
Yeah.
hills.
This is a visual,
Yes.
yeah.
With the,
Where is this on? You know where that is?
I was trying to look for you, know, a picture of it, obviously. What page is the retaining wall on? What page is that on?
We know what page they're in.
Retaining wall was always approved by us. They're just expanding it. over here,
Expanding it, right.
Yeah.
But while we're here, let's make sure.
Right. Concrete.
It's got to be in front of the elevation. I'm saying, I don't see it.
He's talking about it.
What page are you on, Ready?
L-2.
This shows where it is. It doesn't really show much
Nothing from the front.
detail. Yeah. Anna, you're looking for like a front visual of what it looks like?
What's that?
Are you looking for like a visual from the front?
Yeah, right.
Hold on, I'm still looking.
A rendering of it. So Rick, you're gonna handle that part.
Yeah.
And Nicole has an issue with to make sure that
Oh, the commissioner's going to see,
that wall.
yeah, but the commissioner's going to see the sample. And we're going to add landscaping to demarcate that area
Okay.
and add greenery to the hillside. It's better to add greenery than fencing.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a good idea. Get some upright.
All right.
All right, any other modifications that commissioners would like to see? If not, then we have an approval.
Yeah, I prepared a draft resolution, Mr. Chairman. All the members have a copy.
Yep. Then we'll vote on it. I've wrapped up a resolution now.
But I have it.
I got stuff.
And I added, provide details of masonry retaining wall and add shrubbery to the retaining wall area to demarcate the area.
I have a question. That strip of greenery between Main Street and Elm Street, who maintains it now?
State of Connecticut.
They're going to maintain it after too?
Yes.
All right, any other questions? We have the modification to site development
I
plan.
see somebody.
We did.
Oh, you did,
We
right,
call.
that's right. I forgot about that.
I will, motion, accept. Drafted with the change.
Second.
That was Ryan and Leon.
No, I think that was just Leon and Leon.
Oh, didn't you say?
I'll go ahead and make a motion to
Make a
accept.
motion.
He said he's asking for a motion.
Oh, he's asking for a motion. That might.
I'll make a motion to accept
I thought he
SD
said-
2020-05A1, file number 145-195-201 and 211 Main Street
With the noted,
with the noted.
Motion by Condon
Conditions.
and then
Second.
second by Lupo. All right, we'll start on my right.
Condon, yes.
Ambrosi, yes.
O'Reilly, yes.
Westland, yes.
Lupo, yes.
All right, motion passes.
I know he don't. This,
I can if it has to do with.
he has, he
Leon.
can do it. He can do whatever he wants over there.
All right, we're going to move on.
Sure, I heard that. But anyway,
You have before you a draft recommendation for the zoning regulations text amendment, RDA 22-02 that we reviewed last meeting.
and I have further changes that I want to review. You have both
I don't have.
text, yeah, it's in front of you.
Wait, it was sitting here.
Draft text. You have a
Go ahead, Rick,
It
with the changes.
On page 1, the commission may grant extensions not to exceed an additional 5 years for a grand total of 10 years. And I added the following a text, and upon determination that the project is moving forward in compliance with the conditions of approval. The commission wanted that added language to acknowledge that the project is moving in the right direction
Did you take mine?
as determined by the commission. On page 2,
Right here.
the commission may grant multiple year extensions not to exceed a grand total of 10 years, and upon determination that the project is moving forward in compliance with the conditions of approval. And next, we need to go all the way to page 4. Page 5. Interior lots not having minimum frontage on a state highway or town road. And the second, section 3.81. Page 6, go to page 6, 3.83 driveways. The said driveway shall be paved or constructed with the use of asphalt millings and not exceeding 10% in grade.
So, Rick, I know you had concerns about the gravel, right?
Yeah,
What's the real concern about the gravel?
just the upkeep and working with the emergency departments, EMS, fire and police. As you know, Monroe is not a flat community. It's hilly. It just doesn't hold up. I mean, for flat lots, you just have to do the 10-foot driveway apron, and you can do things or gravel. But it was recommended that when you have an interior lot, because keeping in mind, we're not having any restrictions on the length of a driveway. You can go 1,000 feet, 500 feet, 2,000 feet. It was determined to either require to pave it or you can use millings. but the gravel is a maintenance headache.
Well, yeah, but there's other stuff that's making,
Well, it's called process aggregate.
well, you could use process. Process is better than,
All right, let me add the process aggregate, but gravel by itself,
okay.
loose gravel,
No, I got all that. I know what you're talking about, that
Yes.
part. I know that, but I'm saying to you okay.
so we'll add process aggregate, okay?
As unsuitable?
No, it's
So as
suitable.
yeah, process aggregate is a 3/4 inch gravel with the stone dust,
Yeah, it's.
and it locks it in.
Really, it's like,
You roll it. That's what they use as a sub-base before you pave.
right. Okay,
All right, so we'll add those three, pavement, process aggregate,
right, you got that.
and I'll put in parentheses, maintained.
Right, maintain, yeah, that's fine.
Sometimes when you start doing, start digging it up, you gotta grade it out in asphalt millings. And then we added the 10% is the maximum. That is a standard recommended by the state of Connecticut. Because once you get past 10%, as you know, we get ice storms here, then you're not getting to the house. And then on the last page, we eliminated in the best interest of the town of Monroe. Keep it clean with, that it's appropriately designed. So this text amendments reflect a lot of meetings with the subcommittee, and this is the second meeting with the commission. And I think we're ready to go. I have prepared a,
Got one more question. So we're going with 15%, right? Or 2 lots. Why are we doing that? Why is it? On the page 6, 385.
yeah, that restricts the number of interior lots you can have in a subdivision. It's just a way to control, because you don't want a 10-acre lot with 6 interior lots. It's just not good planning.
We don't go by the percentage of it, or is it only going by just to cut that off?
15%.
50%. That's a little less than a third, or 2 lots. Or do you want to eliminate it? And let you make the decision.
I think we should go by by the percentage of it, no? Why am I going by,
What percent did you want to use?
we have 15%. You're saying 15% of the total,
Or 2 lots?
or 2 lots, but 15% of the whole thing?
Yeah. Of the total number of lots.
Total number of lots, right.
That is the restrictions that towns use, so you don't have
No, I got all that part, but,
excessive.
right,
But
but
you can eliminate it and make a determination, because it's your call in the subdivision. Your job is, the interior lots are permitted as a right, subject to you meeting the standards,
that's fine.
the 25 feet. So if you,
That's fine, then let's just leave it that way then.
My question is, why are we restricting people to just 2 lots if you
Well,
have?
that's what I'm saying, it doesn't really make a difference. He's saying
In
that.
a sub,
no, because a lot of planning commissions believe that interior lots are bonus lots and they shouldn't occur. But staff is saying they have a purpose. It eliminates these little permanent cul-de-sacs called spur,
That's exactly right, where you're adding.
which is costly. And
If you're not adding roads, so what's the drawback?
so it's your call. So
There is no drawback, really.
if you don't want to restrict the total number of interior lots, then eliminate that provision.
I mean, it's gonna narrow it way down without having a
Yes.
road. So it's gonna self-regulate.
Right.
Right.
Staff has told you, and the commission knows this, Monroe is pretty well developed out. You have pockets of 5 acres, a lot of little 5 acres, a couple 10 acres.
Right, and so I think we'll just leave it to,
So leave it to the 25-foot fee strip.
right, and leave it like,
Lot area.
fine, leave it like
you're
that.
gonna,
Yeah, because how many people are capable of, that have interior lots to build?
Yeah, there's not a lot of them. You're not going to get,
there's only going to be 1 or 2. I mean, no.
that's right.
We used to have them, but years ago.
Talking about a lot.
We just-
Yeah.
I know, if we're not talking about a lot,
You're absolutely right.
then
Right, so let's just,
This type of regulation is for towns that have a lot of residential growth.
right,
we don't have that.
But you're right. So you're saying
I would say just allow to, as long as you meet the setbacks, if you
Yeah, meet the,
setbacks, the requirements, all that kind of stuff, if you can do that, then just. Otherwise,
okay, that's out.
there's not a lot of
It's
stuff.
not a lot.
Nicole, what do you think? Mike wants to know.
Oh, no, I'm good with eliminating it. I don't think that.
Then we'll
there's much
strike
more to it.
385, 3.8.5.
Yeah.
All right, so then we could, so you wrote all that down, Rick?
Yeah, and we're going to add the process aggregate.
Right, okay.
All right, vote to.
I feel strongly in the 10% though. You know, the grade of your driveway.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
I like,
But you start getting past 10,
I know.
I know.
no, especially on an interior lot, that could get a little hairy.
yeah, and the police and the fire are saying, you know, think of us during these blizzards and ice storms. And you want to get the cars off the road.
Well, if Ryan's out in the ambulance,
And, right,
we don't really,
I got snowshoes.
Yes.
we'll make them walk.
All right.
No, but I agree with that. I don't, you don't want these steep driveways, especially on a deep interior lot. I mean, that could get ugly.
It does. There's some I know in town that are very ugly.
Especially since we're not limiting the distance of the lot, right?
Correct.
I will let the record show Commissioner Mayini has joined us,
They-
and he will be a voting member, so you're not. All right, so Chair, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
That was,
with the noted changes.
Changes, anyone?
I didn't mind being an alternate.
I'll make a motion to approve the draft text amendments as stated.
Second.
I have motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, call the roll, starting on my right.
Condon, yes?
Ambrosi, yes.
O'Reilly, yes.
Mayini, yes.
Westland, yes.
Motion passes. Okay, next on the agenda. We have 10. Is this informational, E?
E is informational. You will be having a zone change on August 4th at the 246 Main Street.
Okay, we have a list of other
That's
business.
Biometrics property, Sippin's property. That's all eight.
The laser company.
I'll say for it.
I want to take over the whole.
Yeah, I know that.
Other business, first of all, do we have people for the 485 Pepper Street and 125 Gardner Road update?
Chairman?
Okay, can you just state your name and address for the record, please?
Rob, can you check the microphone, just tap it, see if it's done? Yeah, slide the, yeah. Thank you.
We're just getting an update on Pepper Street and
And
Gardner.
Gardner Road.
Yep, so for the record, my name is Ronald Pryor, professional engineer and land surveyor with Solely Engineering. Just give you a brief update on Pepper Street and 125 Gardner Road. We were retained by the property owner, I would say about 6 weeks ago, to work on getting these, the existing violations and done out there without permits resolved. We've started designing the project. Scheduled our survey crew to get out there. Our survey crews were out there probably approximately 3 weeks ago to do all the field work. So we have draft surveys in hand now. We expect that we'll be doing bringing an application to resolve the outstanding issues, I would say within the next month or so, to resolve
So did you do the original application on 485 Pepper Street?
Our office did?
Yes.
I was not.
Your office did.
I was not personally involved. I was not with Solely at that point.
Okay.
So the projects are relatively new to me. I have reviewed the file on the approved application on 485 Pepper Street. And obviously, the property owner's gone outside of those approved limits of what was approved on that, so we understand that. Part of what we're going to be looking at as far as bringing a new application or a modification, we're going to be looking at, see what of the work that was done can be permitted and what has to be modified or removed. We also, as part of the remediation efforts out there, we have filed an application with the Inland Wetlands commission for a restoration of, there's some small areas where there has been some small amounts of sedimentation
On 485.
that has gotten into the wetland areas. We have filed a.
They dug into the wetlands area?
I'm
They've
sorry.
been in the wetlands area?
Yes.
They've been in the wetlands area.
Well, they haven't been, no, they did not place fill, but because of the nature of the site, the area right behind the retaining wall that they've constructed, there's an area there that's relatively steep. They've had some sedimentation that has washed into the wetlands that's gonna have to be removed.
They haven't put fill back there, you said?
No, they haven't filled, they haven't purposely put fill in, but material has gotten into the wetland area.
From what I understand, they cleared out way behind there,
Right.
right?
And that's the area that,
was never supposed to be touched.
right, that's the area that we're
That's
talking
in the
about.
regulated area.
Right, that's all the uplands.
Has that gotten into the wetlands at all? Have they cleared anything into the
No,
wetlands?
not according to our survey.
We have maps on that, the surveys on that?
They're in a draft format. Yeah, we don't have them completed.
Okay.
So we're looking again.
Nothing's been done on that property by the permit. Nothing. Zero been done there. Right? Zero.
I'm sorry.
Permit that they were granted by this commission going back years ago. Nothing's been done with that permit. Like they haven't put, they're supposed to put a bunch of, you know, like a building and another building there for the gravel.
No,
None of that's-
they've done some, I mean, it's certainly done some site preparation and constructed a retaining wall out there. And
But they really
they have not done the building, no.
none of the buildings, none of the things for the storage, none of that's been done there.
No, they have not.
And so, all right, well, that's one issue. Now let's go on to Garter Road. You been there?
I've driven by the site, yes.
Have you been on the site?
I've not been on the site.
Are you representing that site?
Yes.
All right, so we'll need a timeline then, I think.
I think
When
so.
we're
We
going
need
to
to,
start seeing some plans.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
What do you think?
We would expect you to be seeing an application in the next month or so.
Okay.
on Garter Road, I believe they continue the work over on Garter Road. Is that a case or not?
There may be some work going on over there. I'm not 100% sure if they're actively using that site right now.
Well, your client aware that he's not supposed to do anything on that site, right?
Absolutely.
And they're aware that they weren't supposed to go behind on Pepper Street either. And we've done that too.
Sure it is.
So, I mean, we've been pretty well lenient here right at the moment, but I don't think it's gonna be much longer.
No, I think, and the client.
So I think that you need to come in as quick as you can with something here so we can see how this is gonna work out, because this has been going on for years. And it hasn't stopped.
So we should see something by August 4th, our next regularly scheduled meeting.
I would think we'll certainly be here to give you an update on where we are.
All right.
Even if you have preliminary layout, you know.
We certainly could have some preliminary designs at that point.
We have the 4th and the 18th.
And you're gonna bring in something with Garter Road too, right? You're gonna look at
Yes.
Garter Road? And let me know how, if there was been any material taken out of there, or you're gonna have to go back and look.
They're absolutely.
Remember, we have to-
Taken out of there.
Just so you're aware, we only have the 4th in August for a meeting. So if you're going to come next month, that means you're telling us you're coming on the 4th.
Yeah,
With an update.
Just saying.
I can't tell you that I'm going to have a fully designed application for August.
Well, we wanna see what we're gonna move forward here with, and, yeah, because
I understand that.
Do you have the survey results with you now? How
No, I
much
do not.
land has been taken out? So this,
No, I do not.
we're just basically being told that they over excavated the properties and that there's a plan to do something at some point.
Right, we've been retained by the owner to work through these issues, and that's what we'll do. It's a process for us to come up with a design, process to get survey out there. Again, we were retained probably 6 weeks ago. And the fact that we actually got a surveyor out there in this time frame is a miracle if you know how difficult it is to get survey crews scheduled. All the surveyors are 8 weeks out right now, and so we are doing the best we can to expedite this.
So you didn't do the survey yet?
The survey field crew's been out there. we don't have the full mapping yet.
Okay, so they did do it, they just don't have the full map.
So you said the survey crew was out there, so you don't think that they went into the wetlands, or you know they didn't go into the wetlands back there?
I think that on the Pepper Street parcel, the area that they filled that they've disturbed in the back,
Yeah.
there's no wetland incursion in that area. Behind the retaining wall, there's an area where there's been some sedimentation that has washed down the slope into the wetlands.
So there is damage to the wetland.
So and again, we've filed with the Wetland Commission a restoration plan for that.
How much material's in there, you know?
I don't know. I know that they've pulled some of the material out that was immediately next to the wetlands and some of the debris. They've reinforced their soil erosion control measures in that area. They have not gone into the wetlands to remediate any of that. We're waiting to get the permission from the Wetlands Commission to do that work.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, well, it's a good news that you're on the job.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming in and giving us an update. Are you going to be doing the update also for 64 Cambridge for independent traffic?
I believe that, is NC on? They'll probably.
Yeah, we have EdSafe tonight.
So I'll let them go first, and then I'd be happy to answer you guys'
Their hand
questions. We did send it to Rick, I apologize, a few hours ago, our monthly progress report, so I'd be happy to talk you guys through as well. So.
Yeah, Chris, if you could do a follow-up after.
Yeah, as soon as NC is done, I'll update you guys.
We have that?
Well, he's going to give us a presentation, I believe,
I
correct?
think to submit, you mean Soli's report?
Yeah.
No, I just got it.
They just submitted it to that.
Some person.
Do you have your report on you, Chris?
I do not, I email it to you. I was gonna talk through it tonight, but again.
If you want me to make copies after.
The end safe report?
No.
No, Soli has their own report.
Let's let NSAFE go now.
Yes.
Why don't we do the end safe report first?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, good evening. So I don't necessarily have a real presentation, because I do believe you have a copy of our report that was submitted in the last week or earlier this week. But just a quick overview. We were contracted by the town in early June or by mid-June, and so we've made a couple site visits. I've also got another coworker of mine, Bill Heipel, who's going to do most of the site inspections at this point. He's also an LEP licensed in the state of Connecticut. And so Bill and I went out there for the first visit, and then Bill went out for a second visit late last week. And so just our observations are pretty well covered in the write-up that we provided, along with a handful of pictures. And since our contracting is for both inland wetlands and planning and zoning, the inland wetland part has more to do with the water supply well that's out there. That's supposed to be pumping up into the former wetland area, or into the wetland area, to try and do the restoration. We had made a recommendation to put a flow meter on that water line so that we can get a totalizer reading and be able to confirm how much water's been pumping in there. And as of today, I guess we were told that, and we sent a picture that the totalizer has been installed. So Bill is planning on going back out tomorrow to do another site visit, and he'll get a look at it at that time to confirm what's happening with the well and the pumping at that point. So so then, as far as the filling of the former quarry, so we've been taking a look at that as it's happened over the last month anyway. They had pumped out the water out of the quarry and started to place the stone dust and some of the natural overburden material into that space. And there's sections of it that are now up to an elevation of about 390 in a portion, and then up to 400 feet in the eastern portion of it. So The material that's identified, the big pile that's identified as the former Stratford School demolition material is still in place and hasn't been moved at this time. And so, between Bill and I, we've got a good understanding of what material is what out at the site, and paying attention to, to what's going into in as fill material at this time. So, so if you got to look at the pictures as well, it just shows what the site looks like at this time. And, we'll continue to go out there every couple weeks or so and keep an eye on what's going on.
You have pictures of the demolition debris from Stratford High School?
Not in this report. We've taken some when we've been out there. It's just the material that's shown in this report is not that material.
So I thought Stratford High School was in the ground already. They already buried Stratford High School. They got to dig it back out. That's not Stratford High School, what he's looking at then.
Portions of it already have been dug out.
Yeah?
Yes.
Says it hasn't.
Rob, you have seen the stockpile.
Yeah, our understanding is that there's a large pile out there that is the Stratford school material, and that over the past year or 2 years they did some test pitting of it, but it's not actually buried in the quarry at this time. It's a separate pile that's its own pile.
Right.
No.
That is correct. Sorry, Chris Malowski, Solely Engineering for the record. That is correct. The Stratford High School pile is piled up towards the back of the site. It has not been touched.
Well, we went on that site and there was no demolition.
Yeah, there was.
Was it? Where was it?
It was that pile right on the edge of before it went into the quarry.
That is correct.
So that's Stratford?
I got you.
I didn't know. I thought it was big.
Yeah, remember when we walked, me and you walked back and we were on the street and we were looking over the water? And then Kevin was like, that's Stratford High School right there. And that was right on the edge. So where we were standing on
I was under the assumption that Stratford High School was buried.
No. Well, I don't know about that part. I just know I saw that.
I had to dig it back up. That's what I was under.
That's what I just was told when I was there.
So the intent, and my understanding is that the intent and that pile that's there, it does need to get moved. And once they get to a certain elevation that's above, say, the elevation 411, then that material that's the Stratford school material can go in as part of the filling process. So it'll be above the water table. And at that point, we'll also, make some more visits to be able to see what that material looks like as it is getting moved.
I have a concern because I thought we agreed that Stratford High School was going to get done first before anything else happened.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Well, when we first got involved, there was some discussion about a schedule of that material getting moved. However, it does make more sense to put this stone dust in first, get that fill up to the elevation where it can then get moved at that time.
So when it gets up to the height where the water or groundwater, right? We're going to put a liner there, right?
So the liner will go at the top of the fill on the back. So the liner won't be until they filled up another 50 feet or so.
What elevation is the?
No, I thought the liner.
The liner is going at the top. So we are filling with native material to elevation 411, which is what is underway right now.
Right.
And then they will go through and address the rest, and they'll go through Stratford High School pile and everything else now. But right now they're moving native stone dust pile into the deep fills in the rear of the site.
So what elevation does the liner go at?
You said 411.
No, the liner will not be installed until elevation like 450, 455, if you will.
I thought it was.
No, I thought that the liner was going in.
No, if you look at the
Am I right or not?
No.
Well, he thinks the same thing I'm thinking, right?
I was under the impression.
That's what we were under.
That's a higher elevation.
Not according to the drawings.
Yeah,
Mr. Clean fill until 450, like you said. And then
Right, no,
a
yeah,
liner
we
is going to
didn't
be on
want-
that cap right there on top.
I thought that because of what we're going to use demolition debris, I thought that Kevin explained to us that they were going to put a liner there and then put the demolition debris on top of that. and then put something afterwards.
It's not demolition debris, it's clean fill.
No, up to the point, they're using clean fill up to the point until they start using demolition.
No, they're never
Clean
gonna
fill.
use
No, demolition, well, clean fill, whatever it is, but I'm saying to you is like, instead of native material, they were gonna use clean fill. But I thought there was gonna be a liner before that.
I
For
think,
which levels? I have notes from the 11-18 meeting, and native material was going to be used up to 411, and then import clean fill, and then a liner was going to be put 6 feet below
Surface.
below surface.
That's what I understood.
Well, then there's your answer.
but Mr. Chairman, it's important that we get the commissioners out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of previous discussions that you got to revisit.
Right, okay.
But no more, also too, Rob, no more standing water, advise the commission on that.
Meaning up in the wetland area?
No, the lake.
Oh, yeah, where the large water body was in the former quarry. Yeah, the water, they've stopped pumping because they've got enough fill material in there that it is, above where the water is coming up to at this point, so.
And so you have in your report that they're really not hydrating the wetlands like they should be, what they're doing with that?
That was right. The wetland restoration part, when we've been out there, the well was not pumping at the time we were out there. And so that was part of our reasoning for wanting the flow meter to be installed so that we could have something to quantify how much water is being applied out there. There is no standing water where they're pumping to. And so the question would be if it's wet enough or not. And, it's hard to determine. And since we don't know how much water is being pumped at all, it's just it'll help to have that answer as we move forward. So
they put that, you're gonna go out tomorrow and inspect to make sure that
You're going out there twice a month. I don't think you're gonna
valve was put in?
yes, the flow meter.
Flow meter, yeah.
Mhm.
And so that would tell you how much water is being pumped into there, right?
Yes,
Okay, and that's coming out of the well. It's not coming out of the pit, right? It's coming out of the well.
correct. Yes.
All right, that's all I'm concerned. That's good.
But Mr. Chairman, just as a side note, NSAFE is going to be presenting this report to the wetlands at its July 27th meeting.
Okay.
Staff now is going to be scheduling site visits with both boards. So tomorrow, we're going to start throwing out dates. I'll be coordinating with the property owner and NSAFE.
All right.
Because now's the time, with the nice weather, now's the time to see it. And there's been significant improvements that you really need to see now.
Okay.
Because your comfort level, you want your comfort level to be there.
It's true.
Okay.
All right, are there any other questions? Do you have any other information you'd like us to?
Just briefly, I'll just go over our report. So Chris Pulowski, Solely Engineering. We're out there once a week, not more, conduct weekly soil erosion sediment control inspections. We're also out there multiple times a month for other requirements as part of our deep permits. The site has made tremendous progress from our standpoint. They've moved approximately 75,000 cubic yards of native material into the deeper fills in the rear of the site. We're coming out of the groundwater elevation soon here. As Rob mentioned, we are somewhere between 390 and 400 elevation, which means they fill between 10 to 15 feet in the very deep portion of the site. Progress is going smooth. They also are working on section 4 cul-de-sac that was approved back in 2015-16 by this commission. And that's the cul-de-sac at the end of Cambridge Drive there. So they're working on that. They're moving material throughout the site, the native material. Only at this point, they have not touched any of the imported material, and they have not been importing material either at this point. They're just moving the stuff that is on site. Again, it's all summarized in my report. I have some pictures in there as well, our weekly soil erosion sediment control inspections. And just in general, the phasing plans that were approved and signed off by the town, that were just in conjunction with our office here, they've been following them to a T. And they're supposed to be about 2 to 3 months for the first phase, which is moving the native material into the hole. And I think we'll be probably 3 or 4 weeks ahead of that schedule. So.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Rick.
Chris, is the 75,000 a combination of the overburden and the stone dust?
At this point, it's just the stone dust.
Okay.
There's roughly 120,000 yards of that stone dust pile, and they've chewed through 3/4 of it. So they're moving at a really good pace. So again, our client, I'm sure, would welcome you guys to go out there and take a look. The progress is remarkable. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd be happy to answer any questions.
When do the truckloads start coming in?
Not until we get above elevation 411 in the deeper fills, because that's where
Where are you at right now? Where are you at right now?
we're between 300 and 400, depending on, because they fill like in sections, if you will, the deeper parts. So some of it's at like 390, 395. The other parts, as Rob mentioned, are around 400 elevation. So they fill between, 15, 20 feet already in that large area in the rear there.
And the manifests you're going to be handling the manifests as the trucks come in?
Correct. When that comes in, I will be, our client will has their procedures as we laid out with you guys, the material acceptance procedures, and you guys will have copies of all those logs and everything. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Any other questions from any of the commissioners?
Have they done any water testing there at all when they were doing this, Rick? Any of that been done by InSafe?
Yeah.
Testing?
Rob?
We have not collected a sample for testing yet. Bill and I were talking about that today. He's probably not going to collect it tomorrow, so we'll just make sure that the water's flowing tomorrow, and then we will get a sample collected from the well in the next week or two.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Sounds like you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
We'll be happy to go out there too as soon as we can get a site visit scheduled. All right, so moving along, we have two requests for road discontinuances. First, these are 824 referrals from town. So we will hear the first one if Rick can give us a brief review of what the different, we'll start with Timothy Hill. It's the first one on the list.
Okay, everyone, please refer to the reports that show the map.
I got that.
Timothy Hill Road connects to Fan Hill Road. And then I believe 30-acre parcel. That 30-acre parcel was previously reviewed by the commission, known as Pepper Street Industrial Park Re-subdivision Section 6. The commission approved a connecting street from Independence Drive to Timothy Hill Road. It was the desire of the commission to have a connection from Fan Hill Road to Pepper Street. The intent was to get the commercial traffic for Connecticut Concrete and other businesses in the area to use that preferred route. The commission is well aware of the condition of Fan Hill Road and the elementary school on the road, and that was the desire of the commission. Section 6 never went through. You now have different ownership, and the ownership has requested that the town consider the discontinuance of Timothy Hill Road. Now, as part of this request, the first selectman solicited comments from myself, Director of Public Works, and the Chief of Police. And let me read those reports for the record.
Well, we can just go over the opinion. Bill. We all have the report.
Okay, you all have that.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one at a time, opinions on each, from each?
We'll do one referral at a time, yeah. So Timothy Hill.
But for the different opinions.
Yeah, we'll go over.
Yeah, starting with the chief.
Go ahead.
The recommendation is to maintain Timothy Hill Road Monroe will provide the needed access to Upper Route 25 and Interstate 84 in Newtown to improve the quality of life by maintaining that connection, as I indicated, from Fan Hill Road to Independence. You will direct truck traffic that's using Fan Hill Road to go through the industrial park to Pepper Street that we're upgrading, as the commission is aware, to Route 25. From 25, you can go to Interstate 84 or down to Route 8. So the chief of police is recommending unfavorable. Director of Public Works. Director of Public Works is reminding the commission that the town received the STEAP, S-T-E-A-P grant to pave Timothy Hill Road. Timothy Hill Road is a paved dead-end road with drainage that flows off. Timothy Hill Road was intended to be connected into the industrial park and the road name becoming Independence Drive. As part of that Section 6 approval, you rename that whole connection as Independence Drive. This connection would divert traffic off of residential roads and provide for improved access of commercial traffic to Route 25 and Interstate 84. The Highway Division continues to perform drainage, mowing, and plowing maintenance tasks on Timothy Hill Road. In my opinion, discontinuance is not recommended. And then, Mr. Chairman, the town planners, I do want to read this in detail because it consolidates all of the planning related issues that you need to discuss. And then you're going to have a discussion with all the commissioners and then get a consensus to report back to the first selectman. Subject right of way is located between the intersection of Fan Hill Road and the terminus of Timothy Hill Road at cul-de-sac, as shown on the plan prepared by Peter Metropolis, dated 8/12/2020. The 2021 PLCD recommends the continuation of maintaining and improving the town's infrastructure. The town is currently upgrading Pepper Street, which directly handles traffic from the Pepper Street Industrial Park, which includes Independence Drive and Timothy Hill Road. The 2021 PLCD recommends the continued use of the Pepper Street Industrial Park as an economical benefit to the town while being compatible with the surrounding area. The ability to provide proper circulation of traffic is paramount in maintaining compatibility with the surrounding area. Essentially, what it is saying is Fan Hill is by and large residential with small pockets of pre-existing non-conforming commercial operations. You need to respect that. By providing this connector, you will keep that commercial traffic off of Fan Hill and direct it where it should go, which is through the industrial park to Pepper and then 25. On July 2018, the P&Z Commission, after conducting a public hearing, approved the re-subdivision application titled Proposed Re-Subdivision Section 6, encompassing the subject right-of-way and surrounding undeveloped land. Applicants' development plans and supporting documentation show the extension of Independence Drive cul-de-sac connecting to Timothy Hill Road. And the Planning and Zoning Commission supported the connection of Independence Drive with Timothy Hill Road to facilitate traffic from Fan Hill Road to Pepper Street. That's something that you've always discussed. Obviously, we just discussed 64 Cambridge Drive. It's been an ongoing discussion for years, since I've been here, 3.5 years. Ongoing discussion of how the traffic in that immediate area should be handled. And obviously, we're updating Pepper Street, and that's going to be an asset. And Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, based on the above noted recommendation, observations, and previous action of the commission, Timothy Hill Road does serve a public purpose and should not be discontinued.
Thank you, Rick. So we have three opinions. I also am of the opinion that we should not discontinue Timothy Hill Road. Any discussion?
Yeah, I want to just Well, one, I think there was just some misspeaking. It's the idea is it keeps traffic off of Jockey Hollow Road. Not, it's because that's the cut through right now for trucks. So that pulls it from there and from Gardner. And I'd just be concerned turning over a street that we use steep grant funds for and then giving it back to a property owner. That seems
Is that
almost like a
street, but is
misappropriation
Timothy
of
Hill
funds.
ever going to connect, ever?
Yeah, we approved it. We already.
No, we didn't
approved
approve it. No,
Yeah, we
no.
did it. There's never.
No, you have a
Oh.
new property owner of the former Section 6,
Who's that?
Peter Metropolis.
I understand that, but
And if he comes in with if he comes in with a development plan,
Right.
you wear your planning hats and say, we want this road to be continued and you need to incorporate it in your plan. If that's still the consensus.
does his property end at the road that was already done?
Here's a picture.
No,
Yes.
but
He's in between Independence.
this is the end. And this is the other property. Who owns this piece in the middle here?
That's Pete Metropolis. So his piece
Brought us an application.
This piece is critical for the plan, you wearing your planning hat, plan extension of that through road. So whenever you get an application, if you still feel that that planning recommendation should be fulfilled, whatever type of development is, you want to see right away going there to
Okay.
roads.
I was under the assumption that, isn't that the quarry, this part here?
No, up here.
That's to the south.
Where's? So where was the problem with the bridge and all that kind
That
of
was
stuff?
here.
Yeah, that was part of that.
I was here. Remember the application from Sully?
The previous owner, the current owner was asked by the wetlands, to remove it, even though he didn't put it in.
But there's no plan to put that road in right now on that property, right?
No,
Okay.
if the town wanted to do it, the town would have to request the property owner. Property owner could say no, and that would get into a situation. But there is no plan by the applicant or the town.
Is there any other discussion? Are we of the opinion to say no to this? Recommend no? Okay, then we will respond back to the town council with a negative on the Timothy Hill Road request. Moving on to the second.
So, yeah, Mr. Chairman, let's get a motion in a second and then a roll call.
All right, motion on this, first H24 referral.
To report unfavorable.
Unfavorable.
I'll make a motion to report unfavorably on 8-24 referral, request for road discontinuance at Timothy Hill Road.
Second. All right, have a motion and a second. Call the roll, starting on the right.
Condon, yes.
And Rosie, no.
O'Reilly, yes.
Mayne, yes.
Westland, yes.
Motion passes. Moving along, we have a similar request for Spring Hill Road. Rick, want to go and
Yep.
cookie on Spring Hill Road? You all have the packet and map before you.
Is everyone familiar geographically? This is where Spring Hill Road splits towards 111 Turnpike. The northerly portion of it,
Oh, okay.
between properties 365 and 375 Spring Hill Road, is the area in question. This area is paved. And the property owner to the south that immediately abuts it is requesting the discontinuance of this road. And the way it works is if you report favorably, the town council then will take it up. And they have to do several meetings for this. And if they decide to discontinue it, the road is split down the middle and half goes to the abutting property owners on both sides. They can refuse it, and any one of those property owners can retain title to it. The intent of the property owner petitioning this is for use for economic development. Staff has been working with the property owner for a new restaurant type of use. Their property is somewhat tight. This would be advantageous if the property is added to their property. So where this is coming from is to a non-residential property for non-residential use.
I like it.
They would like additional property. And you have the 3 reports. Police chief saying this is not necessary for safety, protection, et cetera. The director of public works says it would be nice to eliminate this on the maintenance end of it.
Is it even usable at this point?
It is usable, yeah, you can drive
Are there
down
any
it.
houses down there?
No, the house is end. So the last house, you will not, and you will not take away the property owner's driveway access.
Okay.
It's the portion of this paved road that is not used.
It's a dead end also. This map
is a
here
dead end.
shows that it isn't, but it
It
actually,
never got connected to Route 111
Right.
as a through road. And this commission down the road never saw that to be needed. So you have 3 recommendations of favorable on the discontinuance.
What happens with 373 Spring Hill Road? That connects, road, doesn't it there? It looks like it does.
yeah, it looks like.
Oh, no, a private driveway will be protected and provided
Where?
to get out. That has to be figured out when it gets to the level of the town
Like
council.
an easement,
No, they'll own it.
they'll own a section.
Have to get it in and out of there.
So they'll have to carve off a corner of it.
Right.
Yeah, it would expand to.
And keep in mind, this is something that the town will not participate in any cost. So
So
all of the private property owners that can receive this property have to say yay or nay.
is on that
We will always provide access, which you have to.
373 have a house on it already or no?
Yeah, 365 and 373.
This is the road. It's a dead end. This is the first house. This is 373.
673 is using that portion of the
Yeah, and
road.
375 is a non-residential, that's for economic development. Leah, remember
What's 370?
375, you denied the gas station when I first came on?
Of land. So to put a restaurant.
So there's something on 373?
Yes, house and 365 house.
Much of a house.
I don't see much of a house there. There is something there?
I believe there is, yeah.
375?
73.
Using it.
373?
Carve off a section. Give it to them. So their lot's gonna look like this.
Oh, yeah.
So
We'll never take away driveway access, you can't do it.
before we deny, take favorable to deny this road, don't you think we should have some kind of a thing of what's going to happen here? I mean, how are they going to divide this or?
That gets processed during the town council process. Your recommendation is advisory only, and you cannot require the detailed design solutions. That takes place during.
Are any of the landowners that are using this half road for or against it?
No, that gets done by the town council.
Okay.
So why are they?
You know, like you have a public hearing on the
Why are
zone
we
change.
here? We're here to say that.
Make a
State statute 8-24.
I understand that, but I'm saying to you is that
You're making a simple recommendation.
I got all that we're making a simple recommendation, but we may be taking some use away from this 373 and letting the council do that because who knows if this guy doesn't want street frontage for his house or whatever.
No, but Leon,
Take away you.
You don't take.
the town has to provide access.
Have
to the
street
lot.
frontage.
No, he
His-
wouldn't.
Yes, he will. His driveway is right here. It's
They're
now
going
going to get
remove the
expanded
road.
to there.
Yeah.
Not all that, but he won't have any street frontage. You'll take that away from him. It'll be gone.
He'll have street frontage.
This would
This
become
would be
his
cut off
property.
of here, you understand, this would be cut off of here, he would not have any. You understand what I'm saying? You're taking away road frontage.
Just have the right, I think that's gonna come in front of council.
This would become his property because he has to
He
be
would
able to
have
get to
to
the
cut
street.
this off of here somehow.
He'll be acting as a public
What
hearing,
happens if that don't happen?
the design solution.
He has to be able to get out of his house.
Speak with council if they don't like it.
We're creating a burden on that house.
And,
But I'm saying, we, as recommending it, we're already making a burden.
yeah, and you can make a recommendation to please provide the design solutions that doesn't,
That's why I think that if we're recommending this to go to the town council, we should have some kind of way that this plan is gonna end up.
We can't, we're not allowed
that's
to.
not your,
I understand you
Statute
can't,
works.
but I'm saying,
no, but you can put that in your motion, Leon, that you are very concerned.
I'm concerned about
Final
taking
design.
somebody's frontage, so they're probably,
Leon, that you're concerned about
I mean,
the
that-
final design solution.
that's gonna happen.
This right now is owned
Are the
by the
property
town.
owners
It's owned by
We're gonna
the town.
turn it over and
And
then
this
it's going
guy-
to go to these properties.
They're going to split, whatever, but this guy is going to lose road frontage because this is a town road right now. You
So if he has
understand?
X amount of
He has X
yardage,
amount in
it's
front
gonna
of here.
become X amount. So yes.
That's
it's going- yes,
exactly right.
yeah.
Leon, see where it's shaded?
Still going to have frontage. He will-
That may be adjusted. You're
Not
absolutely.
all that,
You
what I'm
think it's gonna
saying to you
affect
is
his
that
property value?
you're making we're going to make a recommendation.
But he can also
and the
speak.
road.
You know, in front of council.
Yeah, if we don't make that recommendation, it can't go anyway, right? Is what you're saying to me, right?
No,
No,
they-
they can make their own decision.
We're just making a recommendation.
No, they need a majority vote to override you.
Remove this, right?
Yes.
To move it.
They have the final say. If you report it unfavorably, they need a majority vote.
Has anyone talked to 373?
No, this is in the very beginning.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why, but I'm saying.
Cole, you got to understand your role here.
Yeah.
Your role here
So
is not to get involved with the property owners.
that's what I'm saying to you is, but you have multiple property owners there and you have one property owner that wants to abandon the road. Am I?
You're absolutely right.
Right. So we're not taking in consideration any of these other property owners, but you want to abandon the road because of one property owner wants to make this so he can put some, I don't think that's the way to do it here. I think that we should have these other property owners, if they're all in agreement with it, then maybe I would feel better than saying, okay,
And
abandon.
Lee, you could put that in your motion. Because you got it before you. You need to say yay or nay. You need to say unfavorable or favorable. And you can do it with recommendations too.
Because to Leanne's point, whoever ends up developing 255, it's going to end up in this person's like front yard.
Yes.
So,
That's what I'm saying to you. is-
right, but right now there's a street between them. So,
Paved street, a
a
paved.
paved street. So how far back could 255 go? If we abandon the street, can they go into the
We
street?
don't know
at
that
all?
because that's to be determined.
Just said they get half.
Here.
Like it.
I know, but
They're not gonna get more than half of the road.
we have to go to public hearing where?
Town council.
If they don't want it, then
Right.
why are we arguing? That's.
But I'm saying, well, no, not that they
Then
don't
it's
want
simple.
it. They need a recommendation from us to abandon this road.
Yes.
Okay.
Because right
I have
now, it's
concerns.
Everyone wants.
I have
Police
cons-
department, everyone wants that.
a waste
I
of
got
town
all
money.
that. I have. Well, they may, but this poor guy here and this guy over here, if your property at 373 or whatever, and they're gonna take your road frontage away from you, and then this guy has a little house, well, you don't have enough road frontage now to put a house on that place.
And Leanne-
Properties ends up being, no.
The only benefit to this.
And Lee and the town council can say no, because they're gonna have
Not
a,
all that, but I'm saying to you is what I'm concerned about is I don't want to I'm not going to make the decision because I'm concerned about all these other properties. If they're on the same.
that's a
If they're
valid,
not, then.
But first things first, we're not making any decision.
no, and that's a valid concern that you can,
We are making a recommendation.
provide.
I'm making a recommendation.
But it's not a decision. We
It's a
don't make.
recommendation.
No,
Rick,
not a
are
final.
they taking this?
We don't see a reason why this
property
street needs to be
under
kept by the
eminent
town.
domain?
No.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
No, it's a process. The town council can say no. And then it goes nowhere.
Town council says yes, that they're taking it.
We don't know who's taking it. They put the request in, but then the town's gonna put that up for sale, I assume?
No, there's no.
Just give it.
Yeah.
Sale.
Right.
The town council then determines.
Yeah, Dominic, an imaginary line goes down the middle. And property owners of both sides are offered that
255 gets more land.
for no cost. But
Except for potential,
So Rick.
except for taxes.
Rick.
That's why they might say no,
Rick.
because it's gonna expand their property and change
Rick.
the taxes on it.
Rick, there's more to this than meets the eye. Because this guy's gonna probably want to require this other piece of property over here. That's why you're trying to get rid of this road. That's basically why. This is why. They're gonna take this, he's gonna take this other piece of property, without a doubt. And this guy over here, this poor guy in the middle, how's this guy getting in and out of that property? I don't see that, but I tell you that's why this is,
And Leon, you raise a good point. That gets designed,
I got all
public
that.
hearing.
But I'm saying to you, you're
Hold on, wait.
You're abandoning the road to expand all this property here
1% at a time.
so that you could put in whatever you want over here. I got all that, and I understand that. But this person that's in the middle, that this property owner, we have to take into consideration this property owner here that's in the middle.
And he might get half of this road.
My question, he may be selling it to him. I don't know.
They're not
I have no
selling
idea.
it.
And if that was
Wait a
the
minute,
case,
wait a minute.
then it would all equal
One
out.
at a time.
Then the road
All
is.
right, that's,
No
all
good
right,
anyway.
Leon. Let somebody else speak. Anyone else have any comments on this or?
I feel like as long as he's going to be notified during this process, I'm comfortable with it.
All right, Nicole?
No comments.
Well, how do you, well, are you leaning towards recommending or not recommending?
Well, it's gonna be a vote, right? So.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I'm not
Nicole's,
seated. I'm not seated, so-
She's not seated.
yeah, Nicole's not seated.
Commission,
No, it's 5.
just seated?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Back to no comment.
so we're back to a motion in a second. Roll call vote.
I'll make a motion to give a favorable approval to 8-24 referral request for road discontinuation portion of Spring Hill Road.
All right, we have a motion. Do I have a second first? Favorable.
Second.
Motion, and I have a second. Is there any further discussion? If now, call the roll, starting on my right.
Well, hold on a second.
Hold on.
There we go.
Go ahead.
Further
No,
discussion.
no, no. Rick just said we could put
Recommendations.
recommendations into our favorable or whatever.
Our recommendation. We can.
Right, so I think
Stipulations or just.
I think Rob said that we have, to make sure that 373 gets 100% notified. I think that should be in our recommendation as well.
Conditional recommendation, I guess.
Well, it's a favorable recommendation and we are,
Concerns.
we have concerns and want to make sure that all abutting property owners are duly notified. And that everyone is granted access to a street to exit their house property if need be.
Well, I mean, I think that's,
I mean, we did approve interior lots, so
Right, so then 373 may become an interior lot then.
yeah, that's quite possible. We just approved that.
just wake Leon up and just let him know where.
All right, what would you like to put in that?
No, I just,
Like that, yeah.
it's in there. I think it's,
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, don't
I have
put
those
100% notified because I frankly don't know what that means.
They all will be notified.
I think each council member should knock on the door of 370. Let them know.
All right, so then, any,
Motion in a second.
Yes, we have the motion and
And the two recommendations.
any other
two
discussion?
recommendations.
We're discussing.
Done discussing.
He's asking for another motion and second, adding.
Rob said second.
I seconded.
All right, so we're good. Now we're in discussion.
Is there any other concerns
No, sir.
other than the property owners being notified? All right, then call the roll, starting on my right.
Condon, yes.
Ambrosi, no.
O'Reilly, yes.
Mayne, yes.
Westland, yes.
Okay, motion passes. We'll make a positive referral on Spring Hill Road. Next, we have pending meeting minutes. Do we have meeting minutes in front of us?
Didn't see him.
All right.
You actually didn't skip it, that's right.
No, I even.
Zoning planning matters. None. Correspondence, I have none. Commissioner reports, I have no report. Any of the commissioners have any report?
You're gonna reach out to us to schedule that site visit?
Yeah, and Mr. Chairman, the gentleman in the R3 zone, the 3-acre zone, was glad to hear that you want to move in the direction of allowing detached accessory dwelling units with restriction. So he's holding tight.
Does it not work for him?
Well, no, he's still working on the final design.
Okay.
You know, he wanted to do a lot split and it wasn't going to happen. He was pleading, and once we get out of the summer months, we'll have a, it's
On this month?
as of right now.
No? Okay.
Upper Street construction. Update on that as far as timetable or?
Yeah, I just was given an update yesterday. Utility companies are still dragging their feet, causing delays, but the weather's been very cooperative, as we all know, and we're still scheduled to finish the job by October, November. So it's still slated for completion by fall.
Is it possible to make a request, the cross cuts they make on the road? Is there a way to, request them to pave them?
Pave that, yes.
Because it's a mess.
And you raise a good point, because I talked to a property owner that lives near there. It's the scheduling dilemma with the utility companies. They have a lot of control in the state of Connecticut in the right of way. It's very disappointing. We regulate private properties. This board does. And they are given a lot of control, kind of like the railroad industry. And it's very disappointing. But what I want to do is to give updates every month on that, because I'm getting a lot of calls. And as Dominic indicated, there's 3 or 4 areas where it's open. And it has to be addressed. But
Why not put some temporary asphalt or something? Yeah.
I'll pass that along, to engineering department.
Okay, Rick, do you have a report tonight?
No, I do not. Joe Chapman will be attending the August 4th. I just want to remind everyone, the 2 cease and desist orders are still in place, and those will not get lifted until this commission is comfortable with the progress. So you heard tonight that progress is being made on both locations. The bigger one is they're both big because they both have issues. So I'm not going to say one's more simple than the other one. Both have issues.
Anything not to keep this meeting going here, but at the Hattertown entrance there, that potential bagel establishment, they put up a little bit of framework. Has there been anything on that?
They received, as I reported, the variance for the second floor to frame that out. And now they're going to be coming before the board. They are getting a survey done that shows where the parking lot spaces are going to be. And we don't even know where the leaching fields are. So an engineer is doing that. It's just information that's got to be done.
But there is progress.
Right. And as Solly indicated, the surveying crews, they're out. The delay is 6 to 8 weeks. So I was glad to hear that those 2 locations were surveyed. That was half the battle.
Anything else, Rick?
No, as I told Nicole, unless there's a dire need to have a zoning subcommittee, do you want to wait till, yeah.
If there's any need.
Well, that gentleman indicated whatever you can do, because, he would like to build that detached accessory structure.
We already passed that.
What's that?
We passed that.
No, we discussed it informally.
Oh, not his, I mean the general.
Yeah, the general, we got to do text. We got to do a text amendment.
I'm away the next 2 weeks, so I promise. Not back till August.
Right. And
Well, I'll talk to you, Mike, to see what looks good. I want to focus on scheduling to go to the 64 Cambridge.
Okay.
Oh, is weekdays better, or, it stays light out till 9. Concentrate Monday through Thursday?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, after you guys were thinking afternoon, after 4:30, 5,
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 probably, yeah. Perfect time of year to do it.
If you do it next week, that'd be great. If not, again, like I said, I'm away, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it for next week for both wetlands and zoning.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
All right.
Okay, that's it, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
To adjourn, second. We will now adjourn at 8:35.